Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Saturday, September the 29th, and welcome to our video commentary. Today, we're going to do a little history lesson of a baseball season in 1941. 1941 was one of the most amazing baseball seasons of all time, and of course, the season was played in the context of what was happening in Europe, what was happening in the Pacific. The United States was not officially in the war yet. That didn't happen until December when Pearl Harbor was attacked. But clearly, the American people were aware of the fact that the world was at war. And I think a lot of them were probably reluctantly realizing that the country would be at war at some time. So baseball has one of its greatest seasons in 1941. In the first part of the season, you had Joe DiMaggio and his 56-game hitting streak. That started in the middle of May and ran all the way up to the second week of July, where DiMaggio got a base hit in 56 consecutive games. No one has come close to that. Pete Rose got to 44 in 1978, and that's as far as anybody has ever come. And there's a big difference between 44 and 56. But nevertheless, Joe DiMaggio, by the middle of July, was finally stopped his 56-game hitting streak. Has to be one of the greatest sports achievements of any sport, whether it's baseball, football, whatever it may be. Just an incredible sign of consistency. After the Joe DiMaggio streak was stopped, then the country focused on something else, and that's Ted Williams. Ted Williams was having a spectacular baseball season, and by Labor Day, mid-September, he was flirting with a batting average of 400. Not something very common in baseball history. So on the last day of the 1941 baseball season, which would have been this day, September 29th, 1941, Ted Williams was exactly at 399.6 or 399.6, which in baseball terms, that gets rounded up to 400. So had he not played, he would have been given a 400 batting average on the last day of the season. So the manager approached him and said, "Ted, you don't have to play. You're already a 400 hitter." And Ted said, no, I want to be a real 400 hitter. I want to be over 400. So he played a doubleheader again on the last day of the season, two totally meaningless games. And he went out and he played the doubleheader, had one of his greatest days of his career. He went 6 for 8. And at the end of the doubleheader, he finished the season at 406, which is an amazing. No one, again, has come close to that. The closest thing to that number was in 1980 when George Brett hit 390. But no one has ever broken into the high 390s. No one has gone over 400. So Ted Williams on that last day of the season and Joe DiMaggio in the first half of the year really gave the country something else to think about, because I think everybody kind of knew that World War II was coming. Maybe they didn't call it World War II back then, but they knew World War was coming. And baseball had one of its greatest, absolutely greatest seasons, with two of the most unbelievable achievements in Major League history. The 56 games, DiMaggio, and hitting 406, Ted Williams. Thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube. We have them on Twitter. We have them on my blog. And if September 29th is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.